Hey guys, I'm Brent. This is Pastor Ron, and welcome to Pastor Chat. So, Pastor Ron, man, incredible message this morning. So just a couple questions that I have for you. Obviously, we talked about waiting. And one of the things that really stood out to me, of course, is this idea of, not waiting well because we don't listen well. So what kind of advice could you give someone who is in that season of really trying to train their ear to hear what instructions God may be giving them in their waiting season?
That's a great question, Brent. I think for us to really train our ears, I like the way that you put that. I think it does take some training, and you kind of have to unlearn some stuff. And I think you have to be intentional about some stuff. And so that training, just not to miss that just hearing one message and flipping a switch probably isn't going to do it where you'll instantly be able to hear. Right. So I think God's already given us prayer and he's given us his word. And then I think he's given us Sabbath rest as some pretty huge rhythms or habits or spiritual disciplines in our life to really help us with that process of tuning our heart and our ear, our spirit into his spirit. But I have to be regular about that. Like I need to talk to him constantly.
That's good.
The more I'm in the word, hearing him, and then that Sabbath rest on a weekly basis, like regardless of what day of the week you put that in there, I think that would be huge as a means of at least training yourself to slow down and go, okay, this is time I'm carving out to listen.
That's awesome. And I'm glad that you mentioned slowing down. Obviously, we live in a society where everything is quick, right? We're go. Yeah. Can you just kind of elaborate? Because I know you hit it on in your message a little bit, just elaborate a little more about just the benefits of actually slowing down.
The added benefits of like the more that I'm carving out time to slow down and not just busy myself, the more I'm probably going to hear from the Lord, and so, the Mary and Martha story is kind of the classic one. Jesus visits their home and Martha's rushing around doing stuff, and it's good stuff.
Right.
But Mary chooses to sit at Jesus' feet, and then Martha kind of gets upset and says, right. Hey, Lord, tell her to, get busy, get working, be productive. And I love that Jesus just reinforces in that moment. There's nothing wrong with work.
Right.
But he says, Mary has chosen the one thing that's better, and it not be taken from her. And that one thing is time with Jesus. And so it's hard for me to have an actual relationship with someone if I don't spend time.
No, that's awesome. So as one final question, obviously 2020, and you talked about it, has been a difficult year for a lot of people. And then on top of that, you discover that as bad as it is, you still got to wait for God to move, right? Yeah. So my question to you is, it's more not really a question, just could you do us a huge favor and just for like 60 seconds, just give some encouraging words to that person who may be waiting in pain?
Yeah, gosh. Well, first, just if someone is waiting in pain, and if that's you and you're in the midst of something that's really painful for whatever reason, whether it was something that maybe was a result of your choices, or maybe even more difficult sometimes stuff that's been done to you and that's brought the pain, or something that was maybe just beyond control, then I would just want to empathize and say, I'm sorry and I'm hurting along with you. And so is the church, so is the pastoral team here, the leaders here. You're not alone in that. And I think that God's given us people to be a tangible extension of himself, of comfort. It's okay to pour out your heart to God about that pain. And it really is the honesty, the doubts, the questions. But the Psalms, I would go read some of the Psalms, because so many of them are filled with someone who's going through pain, being able to be honest directly to God about it rather than faking it. Right. And we can trade in our relationship with him lies and get truth. We can trade in being fake or pretending like we're not in pain with honesty and being real. And I know that through his church and through his spirit, then he'll start to bring some comfort.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pastor Ryan.
Sure.
And listen, thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you again on the next Pastor Chat.